welcome back to another 1/6 scale figure video. Today is going to be my showcase video and my customization breakdown to the Mondo MacReady from The Thing. If you guys want to see the figure as stock as possible, I will put the link of my previous review in the description and in the end cards, because I have heavily customized this guy now to my liking. I've added some bits and pieces here, removed some pieces from the official figure, and reached out a few months ago to custom artists to commission some small pieces for me. And I think overall this looks amazing now. Only if we got this figure in the look that it is now, you know. I think overall the stock figure was fine for an entry level for 1/6 scale for Mondo. Appearance wise, I think price wise it is a bit unfair. You know, Mondo were charging almost Hot Toy prices, and even maybe a bit more in some instances. Overall, because I'm such a massive fan of this movie, and Kurt Russell is, you know, up there as one of my favourite actors as well, I did want to go all out on this custom and, you know, kind of do it justice. I don't know if we're ever going to get another MacReady. You know, I think the only company, well, actually, come to think of it, I think there's two companies that have the potential to do this, which one is Sideshow and two is Asmus, only because Asmus have recently put up their Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. So that would be the only reason Asmus might dive more into Kurt Russell, or hopefully more John Carpenter stuff. Sideshow, I'm a bit hesitant to buy. I wasn't a big fan of their David from Lost Boys. Seeing a lot of reviews, I was very disappointed with the outcome of that. So I think Mondo is the happy medium to get a character like this. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is get him off the turntable, maybe go a bit closer to the head sculpt, show some of the custom stuff that I've done here and there, and obviously explain how I got to it. So I'll start with the upper portion torso and explain what I've done here. So the first thing that I think was definitely needed was the blue hoodie. And as you saw, or if you did see my previous unboxing and review of the figure, I kind of showed what I used, which was just a random eBay hoodie. And you can see I have torn it to shreds, because my original plan was to cut the sleeves and have like a sleeveless hoodie, kind of like that really weird 2013 fashion where people were wearing hoodies with sleeveless style. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was the plan to do with MacReady, just for articulation wise, and the fact he would be way too padded, he will end up looking like the stock figure, which is, I don't know what the hell that body was. So to get rid of that, I had to end up cutting the top and fabric gluing the ends that I cut off so it doesn't fray. And obviously it's kind of just like a neck piece. And obviously you put the flight suit on top and the leather jacket. Now, speaking of the leather jacket, obviously as you can clearly see, it's not the stock one. It's the DID Flight Officer Military jacket that I've had for a while. I basically collected all these stuff a year and a half ago. Whenever this went up for pre-order, I kind of already knew that I had to do a bit of custom work here and there just to get it as perfect as possible. Like you can see in this image now, obviously he's got the dynamite in his hands. I already knew that wasn't included by the original promotional listing, so, you know, I went out and bought stuff to complement this guy. So what I also did with the stock one is pretty much the same with that blue hoodie. I had to tear it apart. Actually, I'll see if I can grab it, and hopefully I still have it in my bin. So I took a little peek in my craft bin where I got all like my fabric scrap shit that I kind of throw out, and I do have the jacket luckily, so I'll just move MacReady back a bit. And this is obviously the stock one. I do overall really like it, but the pleather material and the puffy bulkiness is what's kind of destroying the overall realism look to it. But yeah, I think the color and the orange weathering that I've done on this to make it look degraded is a bit better. I think this is too tan, because if you go look at the movie, it is much more darker color. But as you can see, it no longer has the fluffy wool, and that is because I transferred it onto this here. So what I did was I had to cut this and kind of tear the pleather parts and then glue it onto this guy here. Fabric glue, obviously, don't use like craft glue or Gorilla Glue. You would completely destroy whatever you're doing. I just used regular fabric glue, which is kind of like a clag or PVA style glue. And I'd done that with the same fabric fluffy part on the inside, and I chucked it inside here. You're not really going to see it, but it's just more for like a conscious thing that I know that it's underneath there. The next pretty big accessory and pretty important accessory, especially considering that we do get the flamethrower, I wanted to add was the dynamite. So you got the bundle of dynamite when MacReady pretty much storms into the back room, kind of all frosted up, and he kind of threatens to blow the place up. And panning down, you've got the single one there. And again, I had this for a year on standby, and the person I contacted was D Slump. So that's his certificate of authenticity there. Really, really great guy. He does a lot of really great little miniature scale accessories. And yeah, I think having the dynamite is a really, really important part of MacReady as a character. You know, he does go around and use it a fair bit. He pretty much straps it all over his jacket at the end of the film, which I was contemplating on doing that, but I think using real duct tape even on this real leather jacket is probably going to still wreck it, just because it's 1/6 scale and it's much thinner of a cut of leather. I really didn't want to get individual ones and just tape them. I didn't want to go that risky on it. But yeah, going just to the head sculpt, you know, yes, I did do a lot of custom work on the jacket and the hoodie and swap out pieces here and there, but I still got to give a lot of credit to Mondo with their sculpts, because I think they were both amazing. And I am really interested to see what they do in the future. I am also kind of on the fence of getting Nada from They Live, another personal favourite Carpenter film. And that is slated to release soon. Though, to be fair, so was this, and this took almost a year delay to get to me. But still, nonetheless, I'm still interested to see how that figure turns out. And I think Piper having a bit more of a bigger, muscular body, that body does make sense to go on that particular character, rather than giving it also to MacReady, because I think that was just really unnecessary, that body. You could barely do anything with it. I might show a quick photo of the body just bare bones out of all the fabric goods, just to see how kind of unrealistic the proportions are and just how shit of a 1/6 scale body it is. Also, just quickly, I've seen a lot of people have a bit of problems with the straps on the flamethrower. I've seen people almost have the straps all the way down to like hanging off his elbows. There's an adjustable pulley cord that you can pull to tighten the straps. So just, you know, take in consideration that it should be like this, not like down hanging on his elbows and the whole thing like sagging down. It should be like this. And especially being on a thinner body, obviously this is not the stock body, it's the World Box ones. AT31, I think it is, Pro. It's one of the more recent ones. I was initially going to have the seamless arm option, but I feel you don't really see it, and plus all the tightness of the suits and all that, it's going to be just a pain just to maneuver with seamless arms. Especially the way World Box do it, where it's just a big peg joint instead of a magnetic connection. You're just going to be wrestling. And I really didn't want to break either the body or the fabric. And just quickly, I've panned down to the boots. And speaking of the boots, I might do some snow effect to complement with the base. Also, the base is not the Mondo base. It is the Hot Toys Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder base, which is a really, really awesome base. You kind of get a nice connector bit that hides the name, and you can display it with anyone, like MacReady, for example. But yeah, I thought that I would get that out the way, because, you know, some people might not know about that and open the Mondo box and go, where's my snow display base? And I think that's pretty much it for today. I think I've touched over everything in terms of customizations that I've done with this guy. Just doing some little tweaks and getting D-Slump to add some more accessories has really elevated this guy. And also, hopefully Mondo, you know, learn from some of the mistakes that they've done and create better stuff. What they do is great, but I think they could do more and really, really be a standout 1/6 scale figure company, because they somehow get the licenses. Like, obviously no other company in 1/6 has gotten the Carpenter license by the looks of it, because Mondo is so far doing 2. So they're getting these cult classic licenses, and I think you're going to get people like me who love cult classic films and kind of like underrated gem films, especially in the horror genre, and we'll collect them. So hopefully Mondo step it up a bit and be on a level of something like Hot Toys or 3-0 or Blitzway. And I think they can be a really, really pivotal point of collecting, especially for people that don't just want superheroes. You know, speaking of Carpenter, this is probably a really crazy figure to ask for, but I would really love a Sam Neill from In the Mouth of Madness. I love that movie, and I think Mondo could be the company to do that, especially like Sam Neill in the end scene where he's got all like the writing on his face and he's in the asylum just going completely mad. Or even like the last scene in the theater, like a display base on like a cinema chair or something like that. I think Mondo could pull it off. But yeah, that's a bit of wishful thinking there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure to like and sub. And I'll see you in the next one.